Welcome, everybody, to the broadcast tonight. I will be your host. My name is Trevor, and we are talking about a little bit of advanced titling work on eBay. A lot of times, my clients will ask me, hey, Trevor, what can I do to my listings to give them some kind of an edge in terms of getting them found? In terms of visibility, greater visibility and findability on eBay. And, there are a lot of little factors that contribute to that, including the age of your account, whether you're a top-rated seller or not, how much volume you're doing on eBay. Sometimes your prices can impact that. Other times, whether you offer free shipping or not. Nobody actually knows the real, people have an idea of the formula for eBay rankings, but nobody knows the precise formula. So it's a little like, I don't know, making a cake. It's like I could tell you there's probably some flour in it, there's probably some sugar, there's probably some butter, but exactly how much, I don't know. I'd need to see the recipe, and that's how eBay is with their ranking formula. Nobody has the actual recipe, but we all have kind of an idea of what impacts it. So some of those things I listed there impact your visibility and your rankings on eBay, but I can tell you one of the biggest things that you can impact as a seller is going to be the content of your title. What kinds of keywords you're using in your title. And, that's something that we've talked about a bunch in the past. Now, just a quick review here. Let me bring up some notes really fast, and then we'll get to the good stuff. We're saying better titles, right, is really what we're trying to create, because the title is probably the most important thing you can do on your listing to gain greater rankings. So we need better titles. And too often I see my clients struggle to come up with good keywords for their title. Now some of the rules real quick, right? One, if you're going to write a good title, you want to maximize characters. So you want to make sure you've got 80 characters in the title. Okay, that's the allotment that eBay gives you. A character would be considered a space, a letter, a number. Any keystroke of the keyboard that counts as a character. You get 80 in a title. Okay, you need to make sure you use all of them. Okay. The other thing you want to do is no punctuation. So we're talking no commas, periods, dashes, etc. We don't need any of that. That just takes up space. Your title should look like one giant run-on sentence, right? 80 characters, chock full. Okay, so like for example, if we're doing here's going to be our example title here. We're selling a piece of patio furniture, okay? Because that's the first thing that comes to mind. It's a wicker patio set, okay? That's the product, and that might be the title from the supplier. Well, I'm going to turn that into hold on. I'll make a note of something really quick. Okay, I'm going to turn that into wicker patio set is all good, but I'm going to add furniture. I'm going to add lawn, deck, pool. I'm going to add the color. In this case, it's a brown set. I'm going to add the word umbrella because it has an umbrella with it, we'll say. See what I'm doing here, guys? I'm going to add for chair. Okay. Right. So like this right here. Now, I don't know how many characters that is. That's probably, that's 65, it's saying, if that's right. If I highlight that, yeah, 65. So I've got a little more room here. What else could I write about this? I know this is sort of an imaginary item right now, so I'm just making stuff up. But I'm trying to give you an idea of what keywords we might be using here. Outdoor might be one. That leaves me, how many now? That leaves me 7 characters left. Doesn't leave me much, does it? What else we could do? We could do maybe sale. Boy, and that probably taps us out, doesn't it? 78 characters. Okay. This right here is a better title. Now explain to me, guys, why is this a better title? It's a bit of a run-on, right? Wicker patio furniture, lawn deck, pool set, brown umbrella, 4 chairs, outdoor sale. That sounds awful, doesn't it? But why is that better than just wicker patio set? Somebody explain that to me. Because instinctively, most people want to do the short and to the point ones. This one's better. Now you'll notice there's no commas, there's no dashes, right? We're not doing any of that. You'll also notice the structure is good. We're using capital letters at the start of each keyword, lowercase otherwise. We do put spaces in between these. You'll notice there's a space in between each word, right? Want to make sure the syntax here is all correct. Yeah, so right, Jose, your chances of getting found on this keyword phrase is much better, right? Much, 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 much better. Because if I go to eBay and I'm looking for a patio set, I might be looking for, wicker pool patio set, okay? If I type this keyword phrase in as a search, if I'm using this second title, it's likely mine will get pulled up a little bit better. If I'm using this first title, I'm not using all the keywords in that search query, okay? I'm not using all of these. I'm using some of them, not all of them, and so that's going to impact my ranking. So I'm not here to make a case for why titles need to be longer. That should be clear. This is more of an advanced training today. The big question I want to answer here, now that we've talked about some of the rules of good titles, is how do I come up with the keywords to put in my title? Okay? If you know you need 80 characters, how do you come up with them? Just off the top of your head, maybe, right? That's one way. I guess we could put that down as a potential option. Maybe. That's one way to do it. That's how I just did it, right? How else? Well, this suggestion has come up a little bit. Look at your competitors, right? Go into eBay and type in wicker patio furniture and see what other people are doing, right? These people that are listing these products, they're selling, right? And check this out right here. I don't know if you guys can see that very well. That says 688 sold. 688 of these patio sets right here. 127 of that sold. I ought to take a page out of their book right here, look what's in their title, and start garnering ideas from that. So many of you guys will tell me, you know what, Trevor, I don't know what keywords are best. So instead of maxing it out and doing some research, I just stopped at 45 or 50 characters. And that's not an excuse. You are shooting yourself in the foot if your approach is to just kind of give up because you don't know enough about the product you're listing. I don't know enough about a lot of products I list. I mean, I'll be perfectly honest. I may not know the industry. I may not know the product well enough, but I know how to go out and figure things out. So yeah, sure, I might start with some items off the top of my head. I might also come in here and I might look for competitors like I just suggested here. The other thing is, and one of you guys just suggested this, and I think this is a great strategy. Look at the product description. There's a lot inside a product description that can give you some idea as to what you might put in the title. A tremendous amount. The product description explains the product in a lot more detail, usually is already written by the supplier or the manufacturer, and there may be some good keywords there that can help. That's a good suggestion, Wendy. That's something that I do as well. Okay, so here's what I'm going to offer you guys tonight, though, that's a little bit different. Oh yeah, one more thing before I forget. There is a tool called titlebuilder.com. Title-builder.com. You guys may have heard of it. I'm going to go there real quick. Title-builder.com. This is to help you if you don't have any ideas. about what keywords you should use. So I'm going to come here to the site title-builder.com, and I'm going to click on Title Builder right here at the top. Okay, we'll do that first. Okay, and then once I'm here, I'm going to put in wicker patio furniture. Okay, I'm just going to put in some of the main keywords that I can come up with, and you'll notice they're trying to advertise this to me right when I put that in. Please just click out of the advertisements. You don't need those. Okay, so what you'll find here is they start making suggestions. Okay, this is what we searched for. And they start to make suggestions below based on some popularity. These right here are some suggestions. The word garden, you can see popularity based on the length of this bar right here. So deck is a reasonable one, box, storage. Now, not all of these are going to be compatible. Maybe it's not brown, right? I'm not going to put brown in my title if my product's not brown. They're suggesting it here, but that's just because brown is used very commonly. So don't use what's not relevant. In other words, these are just suggestions based off of stuff that has been searched for on eBay before. So really good spot for you to learn how to get more keywords. This is title-builder.com. I've got a more detailed training on this. I'm not going to spend any more time on it right now. You'll notice they just tried to advertise to me again. This actually drives me crazy. These sites sometimes they'll advertise to you over and over and over again. So with pop-ups and stuff. Anyway, you'll get that with Title Builder. So I'm going to close that out. Okay, so Title Builder. Now, this is what I wanted to share with you guys tonight. Use Google AdWords. It's called the Keyword Planner. Okay. Now, you might stop me there and say, "Whoa, wait a minute. Why am I using the Google AdWords Keyword Planner? Isn't that for websites? Isn't that for Google marketing?" And the answer is yes, it is. The problem is eBay doesn't provide us with a whole lot of really great software for us to come up with good keywords to use, apart from what I've just suggested to you guys. But one thing you can do is you can kind of make an assumption here. You got to make a leap with me here, and I don't think it's too far of a leap. I think it's a reasonable leap. The assumption here is if it's popular in Google as a keyword search, it is likely that it will be popular in eBay as a keyword search, right? I'd say that's not too far of a stretch. So if we do research in a tool that shows us what's popular in Google, is it likely that research will be productive for us and useful on eBay? It is likely, and I would suggest it's something that you can do. Now, if you're not familiar with the Google AdWords Keyword Planner, this I'm going to show you some basics here today, and then we've got other trainings to show you more detail on it. Stephen, you ask, can you use Moz for this type of research? You can. I prefer to use Moz more for competitive research, but it does have some volume research that you could do. So Moz could work. Yeah. If you guys aren't familiar with Moz, it's just moz.com, moz.com. The problem with that is you got to set up a free trial. You got to put a credit card on their account, and some of you guys don't want to do that early in the game. So, you may not need to do that. Some of you who are already using Moz, if you want to use that for help with keyword research, that's fine. Pat, you use the category that eBay suggests. That's fine. There's not a problem with that. Okay, so let's talk about this keyword planner. Now, if you don't know where it is, just go to Google, okay? And on Google, you'll type in AdWords Keyword Planner, just like this, okay? And do a search. And once you're there, I usually come down to this listing right here. I guess this is the third one down. This takes me directly to the keyword planner, so we're going to go with that. Okay, so just clicked on it. And I usually come up here and, you know, depending on when you watch this video, if you're watching this recorded, it may look a little different on your screen, but I'm going to click Start Now up here at the top right. I don't want to talk to a human. I just want to do it myself, so I'm going to click Start Now. Now, Google AdWords is Google's paid advertising network, and so they try to get you to talk to somebody so they can get you to start setting up payment campaigns with Google, and we're not going to do that. We're just going to use their tool here for our eBay research. So it's going to ask you for your email address, and you got to make sure if you don't have a Google account, you may have to sign up for one here. So go ahead and do that. But one thing you'll notice here is this option right here. It says experienced with AdWords, skip the guided setup. That's what I'm going to do. Now, you guys may not be experienced with AdWords, but trust me, go ahead and click on that. And that's going to actually take us to, or one step closer to our, our keyword planner. Okay, so they're going to ask me about some settings. I'm just going to save and continue on these. You have to kind of get through a couple of these screens the first time you use it. And soon enough, it's going to want me to create a campaign of some sort. And that's fine. You have to start here, so I'm going to go ahead and create a campaign. We'll see if it directs me right to the keyword planner, or if it gives me that option. Actually, I may not create a campaign. I might be able to come up here and click on tools, if you see that at the top there. Let's try that instead. Yeah, see under tools, you've got keyword planner here. Let me see if it'll take me directly there. Again, Google's trying to get me to create a campaign, because if I create a campaign, I have to open up my wallet and spend some money. So that's what they're trying to do. If you can get to this main menu where you've got these items running across the top right here, and you select tools like I just did, that'll get you to this screen. So select keyword planner, and it says, okay, let's start finding some keywords. So I'm going to click this little box right here where it says search for new keywords, and I'm just going to type in wicker patio furniture. Okay, just some of my core keywords that I know about the product that I would assume are some of the major ones, and leave it at that. Don't fill in any other information here. Just leave it at that, and come down here to this button right here and hit Get Ideas. Okay. So we're going to hit Get Ideas. And this is going to take us now to finally, right after all those steps, we're finally here on the keyword planner. Okay. Now, what the keyword planner does so well is not only does it tell you how popular something is on Google, but it also tells you how expensive it would be to buy some rankings from Google or buy some clicks. And those are important pieces of information, and I'll tell you why. So first of all, notice that it just gives me a list right here. So here's my original search, and it's got some different columns. This is the average monthly searches in Google. This is not in eBay. This is in Google. But like we said, we're going to make the leap and say, well, if it's popular in Google, it's likely to be popular in eBay. So that is popular. There's a lot of searches being done for this keyword phrase. The competition is high. Okay. And the suggested bid is $1.93. Now, what does it mean by competition here, guys? For those of you guys who know a little bit about Google AdWords, Keyword Planner, what's competition in this case? Well, I'll tell you what it is. It's basically where it's high if there's a lot of other people using Google AdWords that are bidding on this, right? A lot of other people are bidding on this. Therefore, the competition is pretty high. In fact, see if they'll give me a better definition for it. Yeah, so competition is the number of advertisers that showed on each keyword relative to all keywords. Okay, so anyway, the number of advertisers or people, looking to use this. That's important because if the competition is high and the bid is high, people don't spend money unless they're making money for the most part, right? People in general are spending $1.93 every time somebody clicks on their site from this keyword phrase. That's important because if people are actually spending that kind of money, the higher the suggested bid, the better the keyword phrase is, in my opinion, for eBay. It just means it's more of a seller phrase. So what I would do at this point is I would scroll through all of these keywords here. And I can sort of scroll down the list here. You can see all these different keywords with different average searches and suggested bids. I'm going to look for ones that have high suggested bids. And I'm going to use a combination of all those words to create a title. For example, you'll notice this one right here. I don't know if you can see this very well, but it uses the word outdoor, and it's $2.52 a click. I like that because that means people are probably converting. People are probably selling it on Google, and it's probably a good keyword for my eBay. You'll see the word garden used here, wicker garden furniture. That's $1.94, so I might want to use the word garden. Now, this one uses white. Looks like it could be good. You know, there's some volume here, high competition, what have you. But if my piece of furniture is not white, please don't use white in my title, right? That makes sense. So if I'm selling a brown one, I can't even use this. I just sort of I got to cross that off, right? Wicker chairs is something people are looking for. Okay. So, I mean, the bottom line, just super high level here, guys, and then I'll let you go. You can use AdWords to come up with new keyword ideas. I don't want to hear the excuse that you don't know what kind of keywords to use. You have so many different tools to provide you with ideas. This is a little more detailed. The analysis may be even a little more sound because you can really weigh the power of a keyword. If it's got high suggested bids and high competition and good average monthly searches here, that means it's going to be a phenomenal keyword phrase in eBay. It is likely that it's going to convert in eBay just like it converts in Google. It's likely it's going to get searched a lot in eBay just like it's searched a lot in Google. We can draw these conclusions because eBay doesn't give us a lot of that information. We have to get it from other places, and Google AdWords is a great place to do it. If you're a beginner, guys, don't use this. All right? If you're a beginner on eBay, use some of the other methods. I think this is a good method, but this is, like I said, a bit more advanced. If you're a beginner, I would use number 1. I would use number 2. I would use number 3. Number 4 and 5 right here are a bit more on the advanced side, okay? So if you're a little better on eBay and you've done this for a little while, 4 and 5 are great. If you're brand new, 1, 2, and 3 are great. The bottom line is, guys, I don't want to see any more short titles. I don't want to see any titles with commas and periods and dashes and other punctuation. I want to make sure that every keyword in your title is impactful, is helpful, and is going to help your items get found. Because this is, like I've said many, many times before, this is simply a numbers game. If you have a lot of listings, you can make money doing this. A. But B, you can't have crappy listings and crappy titles if you're going to make money at this. You have to have better titles. And there have been some of you over the years that I've worked with where you get it. You do great titles and it's fine. There's some of you that struggle with it, and these are just a few helps to make sure you don't have any more problems. Okay? All right. If you have any more questions, make sure you contact your coach and let your coach guide you on some of this stuff. Jose, how to get to the Google AdWords tool? Sure, I can show you how to do that. Jose wants me just to show you guys how to get there. Start on google.com and just do a search. This is probably easiest for you guys. Type in AdWords keyword planner. And then you'll find the keyword planner right here. Okay? Or you can type in the exact address, which I know is kind of hard to see. Let me see if I can zoom in on my screen here. This may work, it may not. No, it's not working. Oh, here we go. Okay, guys, this Sorry, that makes it hard to read. This right here, I'm going to just circle it in yellow. This is the address that takes you to that page. adwords.google.com/keyword planner. If you put that directly into your browser, you can go through the steps that I just showed you, and that should get you access to it. Okay? All right, guys. Well, thanks for being here. Glad to have you back. We're doing more eBay next week, so come along for that, and I hope this helps you with your listings. We'll see you next time.